every life has a spark, a truth the heart never forgets.
And sometimes one conversation is enough to bring it back.
No ego, no noise, just real insights that inspire and brighten the path ahead.
Because living with love isn't an idea, it's a choice that we make every day.
So welcome back to Swiss Impact with Ben and Sveta. Today we are in Indonesia, a country where plastic is everywhere you look, and even more where you don't.
And most recycling systems, as we all know, does not work. And especially, it collapses on the point when it is a low value plastic. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to pay for it. So it ends up in the rivers, landfills, and finally, the ocean.
So our guests tonight are the founder of SIRSAK, the company that won our Swiss Impact Spotlight Award in October 2025. The team is building a system that doesn't just collect plastic, but can prove where packaging goes and fairly reward the people who move it. So, Violy, welcome to Swiss Impact.
So take us back to the moment when this became personal for you. When did you look at plastic waste and think, I can't ignore this anymore. I have to build something or I have to do something?
Thank you, Ben. I got into the waste industry by chance. I was working in a nonprofit, it was in Bali, so I'm Balinese. And we were working on projects to improve the waste infrastructures in Bali. So with the job, it comes with responsibility of understanding where the waste goes. So one of the trip I made to the landfill, I was having a coffee with one of the operators there. And then I realized the truck full of trash coming in not every hour, but actually every single minute is a lot of waste that us as human producing. And a lot of what we do on the ground doesn't really make that huge of an impact because I can educate thousands of households, but a full truck of trash will gonna keep coming in every minute to the landfill. And I think that was quite a moment where I was, okay, I need to do something at least on the system. I met my co-founders just around those timing and we decided to do something about it. So we co-founded SIRSAK together.
So the problem is then not the goodwill of people, but the operations. Is it correct?
Well, if we talk about waste, everything is a problem. So it is really about us people as well. So have we been looking at where our waste goes? Have we been care about what happened to our waste? But also about the system. Because then if we think about it, the cost of purchase of a product, it's only about manufacturing. So the whole system is kind of broken, whereas waste is really an afterthought. So how can we manage something when it's already broken, it's already become a problem, and then we suddenly fix it? And I think that's where the system has failed.
Let's zoom in on the low value packaging. What kind of packaging are we talking about? And why does that single category derail the whole recycling story?
It's a different definitions from different countries. So for each country, definition of a low value plastic really depends. The main definition is really the plastic that has no value in this current recycling infrastructures. So each country will have their own different recycling capability. In Indonesia, what we normally refer to low value plastic are all those multi-layered flexible plastic. So are the plastic that is really hard to collect because they are lightweight, and it's really hard to recycle because they are multi-layered. So there's a lot of material within one single flexible plastic. So we are talking about the snack packaging. We're talking about coffee sachet. So all those very light, but then a huge problem, especially if we are going around in the landfill. So you will see that a lot.
And so, if I'm a waste picker, why would I collect something that nobody pays for? How do you change the incentives without destroying existing livelihoods?
That's the tough part. So that is the problem we are, to be honest, still trying to crack. Our approach was through community. So we don't go to the landfill and ask the waste picker to pick it up. We work closely with community. So we have quite a lot of community collection points. So what we want to encourage is a source separation at households. So the idea is to make sure that this material doesn't go to the landfill being really dirty and then try to get someone to pick it up, because then there is no value. So we go to the community, educate, giving incentive, although it's not a lot, but giving incentive that there is some value in these materials. And we put some money upfront because we needed to, for people to start collecting, right? And then we started to take out the incentive after, when the behavior has started to build. So now some of the community that we work with actually have consistently sourced these type of materials at home and then collect and sell it to us.
Okay. And let's go to the solution. So explain what is SIRSAK very simply. So what is the product? Who is paying you? And what do they get in return?
SIRSAK is basically a waste management company, but we work as in the missions of ensuring transparency and the traceability of waste supply chains. So we have three pillars. One is the collections. So we work very closely with community-based collection points. We work together to collect this type of materials. And then, secondly, we do digitalizations. So we digitize the whole supply chain to make sure that all the data, all the waste that coming into us, we can track where it from and where it goes. And lastly, we also are very new going into processing. So all these low value plastic is going to be processed into a plastic pallet, so a new materials, giving a new life to the materials. And we are in the middle of building up a factory for it.
Can you walk us through a real example? So, if piece of packaging, where does it begin? Who touches it? What gets recorded exactly? And where is the moment of truth where data can go wrong? So, what is still challenging in this process? What you described?
Maybe oversimplification. So let's say you have candy wrappers, right? You are in a household and then you're gonna have, okay, just ate a candy, I have the wrappers, put it with a bag of other flexible plastic. And then once a month, when the community collection points opened, you will bring this to the points and then you will sell it. And the people who is running the collection points can enter the transaction. So it will be like person A, Ben, just deposit a bag of flexible plastic with the price of 100, and then this will get logged into our platform, and then the collection points gonna sell it to what we call an aggregators. In this case, SIRSAK is the middleman. So we buy it from them, we put it into our warehouse, we log it into our platform, the pictures, the GPS, the timing, where it goes, when it put into our warehouse, and then we'll send it to another partners who is gonna do further secondary sorting. It will get sorted even more specific to the materials, and then it will get to the partners that will do cleaning and shredding. And then it will goes to our recycling partners. In this case, for us, we're just building our own facility. So the issue with transparency and traceability in waste is that because it's so long and it's often involved informal sectors. So when you talk about creating a new material, raw materials from waste, company doesn't really want to buy the materials because it's not transparent. You don't know where it come from. So that becomes a huge challenge.
People generally get nervous when you speak about plastic credits. So, what makes your approach integrity first, not just a feel good claim brands can put on a slide?
That is actually something we want to build credibility with. So what my company started from is we want to make real impact. So it's a huge values that we put in our office. We are looking into real impact. So what it means is that we wanted to build a system that is credible enough that we do real work. We distribute incentive for collections. We work closely with community, but also we try to benefit waste pickers, informal waste worker. And our mission was for any 2 tons of waste that we manage, put it into our platform, get sold by our corporate clients. We are giving up social security insurance to waste pickers. So for us, it's actually kind of a mission that we are trying to build. The company is really about credibility. So we wanted to be associated with that. So if a company are working with us, it means credible because we are doing real impact on ground.
Can you give us a quick snapshot of traction you are right now, today, with partners, volumes, and what is the next concrete milestone you are aiming for the next 12 months?
Sure. So we have been very fortunate to be trusted by 15 paying corporate clients since our 2 years of incorporations. We also have built over 450 community collection points, and we have collected more than 140 tons of packaging waste. And I think for us, it's really just the beginning. We're really trying to make sure that we can sustain the business for long. And this year is about scaling the impact. So we wanted to expand our coverage. At the moment, we are mainly in the capital city of Indonesia, Jakarta. We try to expand to bigger region, other region outside Jakarta in Indonesia. But also, the one thing that I mentioned earlier was we wanted to focus also into creating a more stable demand of the low value plastic, which is why we are getting into setting up our own facility to process the low value plastic.
And on Kartini Day, the Indonesia's national day, where you celebrate women empowerment and education, you also and your partners delivered care packages to hundreds of women waste collectors. So, why do you focus on women, and what did you hear from them that you still care in your heart today?
So, if you go to Indonesia, if you just ask them, what happened to your waste? How do you manage your waste in household? I can confidently say 80% or 90% of people, we say, oh, ask the mother. If we kind of put more close attentions, you will realize that woman is not just someone who is side business doing waste, but they're actually the backbone of the waste industry. Waste picker as well. In the landfill, the guy normally will go to the top of the mountain of the waste to kind of pick up the waste, but then the women are the one that sort the waste at home. So I think for us, it's something really close to my heart, and for us is something that we want to give back to society, and we see fit in our mission.
Nice. Thank you.
Wow. And as a founder trying to change a broken system, what keeps you up at night and what keeps you going even when the days are tough?
um, we have a bills to pay. We have a a team to pay the salary. Joking aside, I think for me, I I started early in my careers in finance. I was a very typical office workers, but I thought of myself, what if I look back when I'm old, what I want to do, what I want to be known as, and the answer at that time, and probably still this time, is that I wanted to be someone who is useful for others. I felt that I have the privilege to do so, and I wanted to make myself useful. And I think that has been something that kept me going because every day the job is tough. Waste industry is really hard. But every single day, sometimes small stories just pop up. It was like, oh, we just collected our first 100 tons. Oh, that's nice. We just making sure that all this packaging doesn't goes to the oceans. And I think for us, really making that small impact matters.
So, when you look at your own journey with SIRSAK, what has it taught you about the purpose of life? Why it's important for every human to discover their purpose in life?
I will start actually saying that I think entrepreneur is not for everyone, and social entrepreneur is definitely even worse. Starting a business is tough, but then putting an impact and trying to balance between profitability and impact is really tough. And I think for me, what really drive me to keep doing was a mindset of someone who just has to do it. For me, I wanted in this stage of life try my best to do something good.
You have seen the mess up close. So, in one sentence, what do most people completely misunderstand about recycling?
I don't know if it's a misunderstanding, but recycling is just not the solutions. As long as recycling or waste is an afterthought, it's just gonna be difficult. And it's really hard to make it work, especially making recycling works if it's not being designed at the beginning. So low value plastic is the case of point because it's not being designed for recycling. It's just it's such a hard work to make it work.
So, Violy, you were talking about purpose and your conscious choice to serve, to be useful. And I guess that's out of love for your country, out of love for the nature. So, what is true love for you today in the middle of all this plastic and data?
I think still people. I think I started the journey about trying to make one person's life just better. A lot of people have touched my life that I am who I am today. And when I started working in environmental, I used to not believe on it. I was like, oh, there's so many people dying of hunger. Why should I care about environments? So I started with that mindset. But I realized that those people who are working in the waste industry are actually people who are in the lowest of the chains. They just need help. And I think for me, it's still about people. And I just wanted to make sure that everything I do, it will at least create a better life for one life.
Let's say everything goes completely right. So, paint us a picture, maybe 3 years from now. What does success look like for waste pickers, for Indonesian cities, and for SIRSAK as a company?
At least for Indonesia, we should be able to catch up with what European countries has been doing. EU launched an EPR regulation, so extended producer responsibility, where it kind of regulate that the cost of disposal, the cost of taking care of waste are inside the products. And I think that is really powerful to kind of change the economy. So for me, what success will look like is when the regulation works. So we are working towards a more circular economy. So then, with that, there is a better incentive, better, more financial incentive to make the whole waste supply chain more transparent and more less informal. And for SIRSAK, I think we just wanted to play the small roles in making that happen in 10, 20 years.
Wow.
Amazing.
And what do you need most in the next 12 months? And what is the one action you did like them to take in the next 48 hours?
I think we always are in a lookout for collaborations. Definitely corporate clients that want to work with us so that we can work together to create a better system in the recycling and collections of waste. will most likely wanted to scale the facility that we are currently building. So we are going to start with a smaller scale of low value plastic processing. In the next 12 months, our aim is to really increase the capacity once we can prove the break-even points. So we definitely always look out for investors who wanted to invest into scaling up this business.
Amazing. Thanks for your courage, Violy, and for opening your heart to our audience. So it's really amazing what you do to bring invisible people, and visible plastic into light that it's very much needed. So your work is very much needed and it's very inspiring what you shared with us today. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you will find great collaborators to help you in your very important work.
Thank you, Sveta. Thank you, Ben.
If you are serious about circular economy in the real world, with real data, real incentives, and real people, this is the kind of infrastructure we really need.
And don't just watch and move on. If something in this conversation touched you, resonated with you, reach out or simply start asking where your packaging really ends up. Try not to be messy. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you for sharing this space with us today.
Remember, real impact begins the moment you stop running from who you are.
Let today's story remind you that every soul carries light, even through darkness.
Until next time, stay open, stay human, and lead with love.